Hi, sixth graders. Today you're going to be doing some notes on work, power, and energy. And these notes are going to be a little bit different from the notes we've been doing. Today you're going to be creating a foldable and you'll hand write your notes instead of typing them. So the first thing you're going to do is create your foldable. So we'll watch this video on how to do that.
Hey, sixth graders, today for your notes on work, power, and energy, you're going to be creating a foldable. So I'm going to show you how to set up your foldable. You need a blank sheet of paper. It could be a printer paper like this, or a sheet of lined paper will work as well. All right, so first we're going to hold it, I think this was the hamburger way, right? And you're going to fold it in half, set it down so that I can make sure it's folded good. Okay, like a book, and then I'm going to open it back up. Okay, then I'm going to take each side and fold it into the middle. So like that. And then do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm going to keep it folded, and I'm going to fold it down in half this way. So what you have is like little doors, and they're into 4 sections. You can cut these if you want, just on that front one, but you don't have to. It's not a big deal, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to use the notes to tell you exactly what information to put on the foldable and where to put it, okay?
All right. So on the front of your foldable, so there's an example on the right-hand side in the picture, and you are going to label your foldable like that. And so in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to write the objective and the essential question. Our objective is I can relate work to energy and power. And our essential question, how is work related to energy? Then right next to that, and the next flap over, you'll write work. Then below that, you will write energy and power. So you can pause this video while you label your foldable. All right, underneath the work tab, so you're going to open up that little door that says work, and you're going to write this information from this slide on underneath there. Okay, so the definition of work is the use of force to move an object some distance in the same direction as the force. And to find the work, we just take force times distance. Now, force is measured in newtons and distance is measured in meters or kilometers. And the units we use to find work is something called the joule, or a capital J. That's also known as a Newton meter or a joule. They can be used interchangeably, but you would change that into joules. So to use this formula, you will, if you look at the sample problem in the middle, it says a boy pulls a sled 22 meters. The force that he applies in the direction of motion is 20 newtons. How much work does he do? So the distance is 22 meters. The force is 20 newtons. To find work, we take distance times force. So we take 22 times 20, and we would get 440 Newton meters, or 440 joules. I would like you to write that example as well underneath that work tab so that you have an example to use when you're doing future problems with this. So take a minute, pause the video, and write that information down. Under the energy tab, you are going to write this information. So energy is the ability to do work. And we will talk a lot more about energy later on, but when we eat food, we know that gives us energy that allows our body to function and also allows us to do work. And so we also measure energy in joules. When a person does work on an object, he or she is transferring energy to that object. So if I'm doing work by pulling a sled, let's say, I think that's an example we just saw, I am actually transferring my energy. My energy is going from me to the sled and allowing that sled to move. So then my energy goes away. And when you do work, you are using that energy up. And what it means is that you're actually transferring it to the other object, and we will get more into the transfer of energy later on this spring. So pause this video and write this information underneath the Energy tab. Under the Power tab, we are going to write this. Now, power is the rate at which work is done, and the word rate tells us that we're looking at how fast something is happening. So the fastest or the faster it goes, the more powerful it is. To find the power, we take the energy or work, which is measured in joules. So we take the joules divided by the time it takes to do that work. And the units that we end up using are called watts. And maybe you've seen light bulbs measured in watts before. That's what we're looking at, is we're looking at the power of that light bulb. So there's an example. It says, if we want to find the power used by an incandescent light bulb. A light bulb uses 600 joules of energy in 6 seconds. What is the power of the light bulb? So to find the power, remember we take the energy divided by the time. The energy is 600 joules and the time is 6 seconds, so we divide that. And we end up getting 100 joules per second. So our power is 100 watts. So when we take joules per second, we call that watts. So go ahead, pause the video, write this under the Power tab. Please make sure you write that example as well. You do not need to write all the words in the example, but write like the math part of it, just so that you have an example to copy when you're applying this later on. Finally, underneath your I can statement and essential question, you are going to work on writing your summary. So I want you to try to do this independently today. If you would like to wait until after we've talked a little bit more about work and energy and power, you can do that. Tomorrow we're going to be doing an activity tomorrow, and Thursday we're going to be doing some more activities with this. So if you prefer to wait, you can. If you want to try it now, go ahead. Make sure you include information about work, power, and energy. Then hang on to your foldable. We will be using it to do some other activities later on this week. Have a great day.